morning, everyone. Welcome to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts of the show. To my right is a man who is not ranked in Mike Tannenbaum's top 5 NFC quarterbacks, and it's a crime, Dustin Henry. Dustin, how are you doing tonight?
Mike Tannenbaum doesn't like lefties. I don't know what it is. I got a rocket for an arm. I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm skosh tired. I've been up since 4 in the morning. But,
man, 4 in the morning. That's I
was working out today.
All right. Well,
working out this morning.
You're a better man than me. I see the Facebook updates sometimes. Rise and grind. I'm not rising and grinding. I was always a night workout person. I got to get back to that.
Well, I'm just going according to my chronotype, according to a DNA test I took a while back. So it says that I do better working in the mornings, so I try to make a workout in the mornings. So,
well, you're crushing it. You're crushing it.
Doing my best. I'm doing my best. That's all you can ask for. Just doing your best. All right. So here's what's in the docket tonight. We're going to review our final movie review of the summer. It makes me a little sad.
I know. I can't believe it.
It's already it's already the 10th week of No Ticket Required. We're gonna review Remember the Titans, as in the title. We're also going to talk about the Yankees and that misery, but they made a trade. And they activated an important pitcher. We're going to talk about how Mike Tannenbaum messed up his top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC, and we're going to reveal our favorite athletes to wear the number 56. But before we do that, just want to remind people who are watching and listening to follow us on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. You can also check out our other podcasts and written articles at bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, YouTube, and on Podbean. And hit that notification bell. Get yourself notified on Twitter and on YouTube so you know when we're live, so you know when we have videos go up, when you know where shorts go up on YouTube, and when you see general show announcements. And on the podcast side, rate, review, comment. A 5-star rating is helpful. Leave a review where you can, especially if you're on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and on Podchaser. If you're on Spotify, leave a comment. And also, if you're watching on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel tomorrow, this will be on the YouTube channel tomorrow. On Belly Up's YouTube channel, subscribe to them as well, so you're notified about them and when our videos go up there. But leave a comment below. What do you remember from? What is your favorite scene from Remember the Titans? What do you think of the Yankees? Or do they have a chance at making the postseason? Who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC? And again, your favorite athlete to wear number 56. And of course, it's a live show on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern for the morning brunch, and the occasional Friday happy hour, or like we did last week, we did a Thursday show for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I know this now I'm a little tired, been up since 4 a.m., but I know this tune always seems to wake me up, even on a Tuesday.
Wake you up before you go. It's chime time.
It certainly is. And we've already got some comments in the comments section. So, because we want interaction with the fans, with the cred heads to check in. And one of our favorite cred heads, Desi, checking in. She says, ready for sports ball. Nicholas Waltz checking in. Looks like a new cred head in the house. He says, what's up? Where's my boy Ryan? Right here. And your boy Dustin. I mean, Dustin's here too. Desi says, Dustin should have been the number 1 lefty on that list of top 5 NFC quarterbacks. And then Desi also wants to file a protest for you not making the list.
I don't know where you can file a protest, but you know what? We could do a what's that site where you used to have to get anybody could make a petition for anything?
Hotornot.com. Oh no, it's a different website. Change.org?
Yes, change.org. We'll make a change.org petition. We'll get a bunch of signatures there.
Oh man. Oh, I somebody I said made the list. I'm trying to find, where did I put stupid StreamYard? Oh, here it is. NFL. You just made the list.
You just made the list. Oh my gosh.
And
Uh,
we haven't
or-
done a edition of the list in a while. We might have to bring that back on one of the Saturday shows.
we're definitely gonna have to. Well, let's get business out of the way first. So this is
Yeah.
our last. So this is our last installment of No Ticket Required for 2025. We already have 9 movies in the can for next year. So we're going to decide on 10th one, but we're going to do it special. We'll reveal it when the time comes.
Yes. Yes. How will we change it up? You'll just have to tune in to find out.
Exactly. So after this show, there'll be 3 more shows until we go on a brief hiatus from August 10th through the 25th, because we're going to take some time off to recharge our batteries, get ready for the NFL season, because if you don't know, NFL training camp started last week. And I don't know about you, Dustin. I know I know you're a Seahawks fan. I don't know how your Seahawks are faring in camp, how excited you are for the season. But as a Jets fan, just the things I've seen or I've heard from training camp with Aaron Glenn making everything competitive, I'm excited for the Jets season.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very vocal about it on Seahawks sessions, but I'm excited defensively. I'm very excited defensively for what the Seahawks have got cooking up, and particularly where Nick Emmanori will play. How will he impact the defense? We've talked about it, but the biggest question mark surrounding, I think, all of Seahawk football fandom right now is Sam Darnold. But and I think even the team has questions about Sam Darnold, because yes, they gave him $100 million and they gave him multiple years. But what people fail to remember is that that deal has an out after 1 year. So I don't think the Seahawks have some question on Mr. Darnold as well. Hopefully he earns everybody's trust. We'll see.
Yeah. Also, before we talk about the Remember the Titans, I also want to thank everyone out there who has subscribed to our YouTube channel. We reached and finally crossed the 400 subscriber mark this past weekend. We're actually officially at 404. So
there we go. The
yeah,
drive for 5 continues.
Drive for 5 continues, our friends. And again, share this channel with a friend if they love sports, if they love NFL, if they love movie reviews, if they love, hey, also, so speaking of the Jets, there's a particular show that may or may not come back this season.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
And that will show up in the No Creds YouTube feed should it make its return.
Yep. It'll be a YouTube exclusive. Victory Monday will be a YouTube exclusive. So you definitely want to tune in for that. I just got to talk over with Dan. He's been focused on the Panthers. He's a Florida Panthers fan. Of course, he's probably celebrating 2 straight Stanley Cups. But
yeah, I won't hold it against them. But I just have to echo your sentiments, Ryan. I couldn't believe that we got to 400, which may not seem like a lot to some people, but to Ryan and I, it is. Particularly Ryan building this from the ground up, and then I've joined him the last 3 years, 2-ish.
Going on 3 years.
Yeah, getting close to 3 years, and we're trying to build something, but we don't do it for any other reason other than we love doing it, and the fact that anybody else likes what we're doing enough to subscribe and support us, and the comments that we get every week. This is why we do it. You help drive the show. We couldn't be more appreciative. So thank you, everybody. And we hope you join us for the rest of the ride. And for those who haven't subscribed yet, you're going to want to, because Ryan and I, we're cooking up some things.
Yeah, our shorts have been blown up recently. I'm not talking about our shorts that we're wearing. I'm talking about the shorts that we put on YouTube. We had a lot of response. We had a lot of views for our Ozzy tributes, our Hulk Hogan tribute. It's very it's awesome that our shorts viewership is going up. But we'll watch our clips from our live shows, because we're posting there. We're posting our show clips there, whether it's it's always going to be from the recording. So because this is a live show, but it's taken down because we put it on the YouTube channel for Belly Up Sports. But we're going to put clips here on our YouTube channel, and try to build a community. So we hope you're with us for the ride. And Desi says 500, here we come, woohoo! So yeah, we're definitely on our way. Definitely on our way. Just need some people. We just need some more subscribers. We need more people to watch videos. We need some more people to watch shorts. We can get ourselves monetized and really start to drive the community. But in the meantime, enough about all that, because it is time for the final installment of 2025 of No Ticket Required. And we are reviewing, as we stated in our preamble, we are reviewing Remember the Titans from 2000. It's based on a true story about the T.C. Williams High School Titans, who played the 1971 season. It was the first year of school integration in Virginia in the South, and if you've seen the movie, you've seen the movie, but it talks about racial reconciliation, bringing people together, bringing athletes together. So I've watched this movie many a time. It's one of my favorite sports movies.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Some would say it's an underrated sports film, but I think the rating is it's justified. It's one of the better sports movies from in the last 25 years. And actually, it's funny. It's 2000, made in 2000, released in 2000. 25th anniversary of said movie. So
yeah,
it's interesting to see some of the careers where they've gone here and there and everywhere. We'll talk about those people. We'll talk about those careers in a second, but let me give a preface here, because I wrote it. I just want to. I'm not trying to pump my own content here, but I'm gonna. So 5 years ago, in the midst of the how am I going to put this? What happened with George Floyd in Minnesota? All the nonsense going on online, social media, especially about what happened. Not to say nonsense, but just all the stuff that went on, and people sniping at each other, and the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement, and people trying to be. I'm just trying to be, and we're just trying to be chill about the whole situation. Just trying to be, I'm trying to be a uniting voice. So what I did, I published an article on Belly Up Sports, and I'll put it in the chat if you want to check it out later. It got released on June 1st, 2020. I talked about lessons learned from Remember the Titans. But I just said, it's like I posted on social media at the time. I said, forgive me for being glib, but I feel like we as a nation need to sit down and watch Remember the Titans to remember how we should live with each other. And I think it still holds true today, because we still have a lot of sniping back and forth with each other. We're still not. I don't think we're still properly reconciled. At least I don't want to bring politics or too heavy of a subject into this, but it drives the point home that if these guys can come together, these athletes can come together, and they can be united as a front towards a goal and be the best, then we can do that as a nation. And that's why I wrote in the article. I'll leave it in the chat if you want to check it out a little bit later. But let's talk about this a little bit. And Dustin, I'm going to start off with you. I've seen this movie many a time, but I want to get your perspective on this movie. I'll share my thoughts when you've wrapped up. So, what are your thoughts about this movie?
Well, this movie, it's crazy because I, like you, have watched this many times. For a while, it was one of my trademarks of my Super Bowl party. You watch Remember the Titans before the game, because my sister, I love her, but she always wanted to watch the Puppy Bowl. And like sometimes you can only take so much of that. So it
only takes so much cuteness.
Remember the Titans was a good compromise. But the thing is, it's funny. some movies, the introduction, you could tell they're building to something. This movie gets right into it. It starts with a spoiler. You start at Gary's funeral, and which was only in 1981, and then it flashes back to 71, which man, 71 is a long time after, it just shows that progress is slower in some places than others. So it opens right in a climate that is full of tumult and turmoil. And the first thing I have in my notes is the racism is strong. Denzel's coach Boone is mostly a quiet, cool in the face of it all. And as I start watching this movie, I kind of viewed the entire movie through that lens, which is something that I didn't do usually when I viewed the movie. I watched the movie for the inspiration and the sports scenes and some of the humor and all that kind of stuff. And all that stuff still hits for me, but I watched this movie with a lens of, kind of through a different lens, talking about how we still have the division that you're talking about. We still have some of these issues today in 2025, and I think we still have a lot of work to do to get to a place and remember that everybody's human. And I started to view, particularly, and I might be reaching a little far here, but I started to view Denzel, to me, is the star of this movie. There's a lot of stars in this movie, but Coach Boone is the focus of this movie and the things that he has to deal with and his family have to deal with. But Coach Bill Yost plays a extremely important role in this movie. Coach Bill Yost, I started to view him as a person in this movie that represents a majority that might not understand what Coach Boone and other African Americans of the time had to go through and are still dealing with, because there's a few parts in this movie where you can tell Coach Yost, his view starts out one way, and then he slowly starts to learn. Okay, and there's a few parts where you could tell that he is legitimately surprised. There's the part with he gets very angry with Coach Boone because he says, when your decisions start to affect my daughter, that's when I start to have an issue with it. And he's talking about a terrible scene where Coach Boone gets a brick thrown through his window, and Coach Boone at that point says, "I'm very sorry to hear about what happened. I'm very sorry that your daughter had to deal with that, and I'm very sorry, you know." But he said, maybe you get a taste of what my girls have to go through every day. And you can tell that that impacts Coach Yost. And both of the coaches in this movie, they start to finally learn from each other. They're both walking a fine line, but Yost takes some things from Boone, and Boone takes some things from Yost. But you have to empathize with Denzel here. Denzel realizes that he's in a tough situation. Basically, he's told if they lose a game, he's gone. And he also is coming in and he wants to prove that he's not favoriting the black players over the white players or vice versa. He is trying to unify the team and force them to come together from the jump, and it's not working so well. So I think, and tell me if I'm leaping too far here, but I think he decides to coach them all so hard so that they unite because they see him as a common enemy. They bring
Yeah.
so that is his tactic. But Bill Yost, the importance of that character in this movie, to me, I think is it's part of what makes the movie work and conveys the message overall of the movie. And also, as we see in sports movies, winning cures everything, because the town, although there are some stragglers, I'm looking at you, Ray, you piece of garbage, and I'm looking at the assistant coach Tyrell and things like that. Those people were never changing, but the majority of the town comes around to the Titans when they start winning. The music is really good in this film. I think the score is good, and also the music selection. It takes you right back. A young Ryan Gosling is in this movie. This movie's got a cast, Ryan. Hayden
Does.
Panettiere. It's got Wood Harris, who I've always liked. It's got obviously Denzel. Denzel's one of my favorite actors, period. And then it's got Ethan Suplee, which I have in bold. Ethan Suplee is a favorite in this movie. He plays is it Bostic? I'm trying to remember his last
Louis
name.
Lastic.
Lastic, that's what it was. Louis Lastic. And Ethan Suplee, if you haven't kept up with him, Ethan's jacked now.
He's
So
jacked. He's a monster.
Ethan, I got to get your workout regimen, my friend. But I love a lot of your movies. You always add. He's like seasoning on a movie. He's going to add something good to it, and he's essential in this movie because he's the first one that really crosses, quote unquote, the lines, and he just tries to, we're all humans, and we're all people when it comes down to it, and Elastic is the first one that really embraces the coming together aspect. And this movie also, I mean, it's got Petey, it's got Donald Faison, it has
Turk
so
from
many.
Scrubs. Yep.
Oh yeah, and Clueless, of course. But you just have so many people in this movie, and it holds up for the most part. It really does. You have so many quotable lines in this movie, and you can't help but root for it as you see it, even though you're like, really, did these guys come together this much in 2 weeks? And you have certain things like, is the Titans warm up? Did they really dance? Did they really do this? And you start to question things like that, but you can't help but root for it. As you see the team come together, you're thinking, it's working. And it's got the comedy. It's got the your mama jokes in the locker room. It's got the high stakes. We know what happens to Gary. If you haven't seen this movie, I'm going to try not to spoil it for you, but go watch this movie. What are you doing?
Yeah.
There's just so much. I could go on and on about this movie, but mainly the two coaches finally start to learn from each other. In the game against Ed Henry, Boone takes Coach Yost's advice, and they come a long way. And it takes the movie, because at the beginning, Boone questions when Ryan Gosling's character Alan is getting burned on defense. Boone says to his assistant coach, who I love in this movie, he says, Do you think Yost is letting him score on purpose? And the assistant coach kind of says, "Come on, come on." Let him. And then when Coach Yost tries to console Petey and puts Petey in on defense, he said, Coach Boone goes to stop it, and he says, let's see how this develops. And there's times too where Yost is forced to compromise, and you could see the two coming together, and like Boone comes to him with the game film broken down by the math teacher. So I mean, there's so much to like about this movie, even if some parts you're thinking, really, did this happen? And the last point I'll leave with is, one of the things that rings most true in this movie is that you can see the boys come together at camp, right?
Yep.
But then they get back into the real world, and it starts to fray. It starts to come apart, and you wonder, is it all temporary? And I think sometimes circumstances can bring people together, but will it last? That's one of the tests of this movie. And with that, I've rambled long enough. I'm gonna pass it over to you.
First, we gotta get to some comments in the comments section. Desi saying, I don't know. My husband says he can never get enough of my cuteness. I think he's full of it. You gotta ask him yourself. Dan Cruz from Ton to BS and Seahawks Session saying,
He did it the other day on Seahawks Sessions. He didn't do it quite as good as you, but he did it pretty good. And then he factored in a Phil Hendry, and his Phil Hendry version of it was pretty good. He whipped around in his chair and he went, "Who?" And he did, like, I can't do the Phil Hendry,
Joe Hendry, yeah,
or Joe Hendry, yeah. I always say Phil Hendry because, oh my God, yes, Joe Hendry. Sorry, Joe, and sorry, Dan, and everybody.
Julie says, hello, gentlemen. She also says, I love the tagline, Dustin. Actually, that's my creation.
It was. I had one that was worse. Got to give credit where credit is due. That was Ryan there.
Avril Lavigne, how you doing? All right,
Yeah.
my thoughts on this film, and actually, there's some fun facts in here I want to mention from IMDb. That scene where Herman Boone forces the buses to integrate, that actually happened.
Okay.
That did happen, and it's funny that you said that. You say that you begin to see that he wants to create a united front, that the players they're not fighting each other. They're basically trying to they're making Boone the common enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know who also did that? Herb Brooks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's funny that this Disney theme of the everybody coming together,
Yeah.
not to spite the coach, but just to make him the common enemy, so they all build each other up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a fun fact there. In real life, Coach Bill Yost has 4 daughters, but their focus was on Cheryl because she was the one who attended most of the games. And unfortunately, Cheryl, the real Cheryl Yost, passed away
Oh.
in what did it say? 1996.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, she passed away from I'm sorry, 2003.
Oh, man.
She passed on, and not Bonnie. Sorry, 1996. So she was young. She was only 34 years old when she passed on.
Yeah.
So
No.
she passed away from a heart malfunction. So, and actually, T.C. Williams, the name itself was changed to Alexandria City High School because of in 2001. I think part of it was just getting caught up with the times at the time. But I guess the guy who was actually T.C. Williams was a segregationist, so they wanted to change the high school.
Yeah, you might want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to want to change that.
Yeah, and they did. Jerry Bruckheimer was an executive producer in the film.
Mm-hmm. Saw that. Yeah.
Yep. And here's a fun thing. The original script was full of profanity, but Disney, in an effort to produce a good family film, asked Jerry Bruckheimer to remove all extreme profanity from the script. So this could have been a much different,
Yeah.
in an alternate universe. This is very much, I think, like it could be like Any Given Sunday, but without all the coke and the money.
Yeah. Or it could be, Denzel's role could have been very similar to his role of Alonzo Harris in Training Day.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the one movie where he's the heel and he plays it really.
Oh, man. That's
well.
why I love that movie.
Yeah. And I was going to say something else about the profanity with racial slurs, but I don't want to get struck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kip Pardue, who plays Sunshine, Ronnie Bass, actually played quarterback at Yale University.
I saw that Ronnie Bass. Yeah.
Yep. And Kip Pardue, who's the actor who played at Yale University.
And then at the end of the movie, doesn't it say that Ronnie Bass, he ended up working for NBC and he played college ball?
He played college ball at University of South Carolina, and he works for ABC.
ABC.
At least at the time of the film. What we don't know if he's still there, or if he's retired, or he's moved on. And here's some fun fact. Here's another fun fact. Ray Buds, Alan Bosley, who's played by Ryan Gosling, a very young Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Fred Bosley, his dad, and Coach Tyrell, all fiction.
Oh, okay.
All fictional characters.
Oh, man. So Ryan Gosling going, I mean, I don't even have to ask, but this one, yes. That's one of my favorite scenes. Does the term cruel and unusual punishment mean anything to you?
We got some more, a couple more comments before I go on. Mr. Cruz saying Dustin needs a fine bucket from his mispronunciations. Look, that's just part of the charm of the show.
Yeah. Or yeah, because I think I'm known for all of them. Frank Wycheck or yeah.
Sam Wyche, Frank Wycheck.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Julie's saying, good work, Ryan. Thank you. I'm gonna put myself in the back here. Tried to separate my shoulder. And Mr. Desi, Chris saying, "Hey guys, catching you on my drive home." Well, thanks for joining us, Chris. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
All right,
Stay
so
safe driving though.
yeah, stay safe driving, or if you're on premium, just switch it off and listen to us live. All right, so here's my thoughts on the film. Obviously, we have a lot of tension during the time they're integrating schools. It's right after the civil rights era. I wouldn't say comes to an end, but it's nearing the end of the time where where the Civil Rights Act is signed, it's voted into law, and the South is being forced to integrate schools. Obviously, a lot of pushback, and T.C. Williams is no exception. No exception. And actually, I've driven by T.C. Williams High School when I visited Washington, D.C. in 2001. So, yeah, and Alexandria is a beautiful area, FYI. If you ever visit, that's one place to visit. Just you're going to get snarled in D.C. traffic, though.
Oh, God,
so I'll say that.
It's terrible.
Camp. I did the research about camp. They're at Gettysburg College. It's 140 miles from. So I'm sorry, it's an hour and 40 minutes from T.C. Williams High School, or now I should say Alexandria City High School, to Gettysburg College. At least in today's driving, I don't know what it was back in 1971 if the speed limits were in effect. Might have gone a little bit slower and taken the back roads. The first team meeting between where everyone's basically kind of, I wouldn't say they weren't introduced to each other, but you see the dramatic entrance of Coach Yost and his players entering the same gym as Coach Boone and the other players and the black players. Didn't go well. And that's where I have my tagline for tonight. You're overcooking my grits, Coach. When he's making all those demands, it just seems like all the white coaches, the white players are all making demands because they've been there, they've played for this team, they know the culture, they know it. It's a brand new culture coming in, and they're threatened by it. They're threatened by Coach Boone's no nonsense. And in the beginning, when we're introduced to Coach Boone, played masterfully by Denzel Washington, all-time favorite actor of mine, where he's just like a very, very, very mild-mannered, very cool, calm, and collected. But as soon as he flips that coach switch on, it's an entirely different person. He is drill sergeant extraordinaire, especially when you see that first interaction with Petey, where Petey's putting his hand up in the air like the Black Power is like, yeah. And he just looks at him and goes, "Put your hand down."
Yeah.
Why are you here? I'm here to play football. Is football fun? Yes. Are you sure? I think so. Oh no, you think so, huh? Well, you said a minute ago you said it was fun. Well, I think I know it's fun. And that first interaction between PD and Coach Boone is one of my favorite interactions in the entire film. It's so good. Because Donald Faison's a brilliant comedic actor anyway. So, I mean, I loved him as Turk and Scrubs. Then you got Jerry Bertier demanding his coach. And he's like, yeah, I'm the team captain. We got all our guys. We're all set in all positions. And Coach Boone just puts him in his place with the who's your daddy?
Yeah, with the Jerry and Dean routine.
Yep. Yeah, and again, like I mentioned, the teammates are forced that their Coach Boone forces everyone to get together, and everyone's they have their own roommate, and the only person who is the real colorblind person in this situation besides Coach Boone is Louis Elastic.
Yeah,
he's coming from New Jersey. Shout out New Jersey.
Yeah,
from Bayonne, all the way from Bayonne, New Jersey. He's a naval kid, and he just wants to play football. He just wants to play football. He doesn't care what color his teammate is. He just wants to wear the color. He just wants to wear the Titans colors.
He's got some great lines. Like I love when he says football. He said I'm from Bayonne. They said football, so I come running. And then when he's in the cafeteria and he's the first one to buy into what Boone is selling out. He said, "Oh heck Heck no. I just figured that if I had to go to school, I might hit someone. I might as well hit somebody while I do it. And Denzel just goes, all right, a self-aware man. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. They start singing "Ain't Too Proud to Beg" by the Four Tops, and Coach Boone's like, all right, stop begging.
yeah. It's so
But
funny.
also, it's funny the initial practice montage. You get all those those movie coach cliched lines like
Yeah.
blood makes the grass grow, and you gotta have desire, and you gotta get just do your best, and I'm gonna make you run a mile. All those cliches come out to play in this particular film, especially in the practice initial practice session. But a couple themes I definitely looking at in this movie, and it's in my article that I posted in the chat. Uh, Number one being that sports is the ultimate meritocracy. It's the ultimate meritocracy because you got to earn your spot. You got to earn your place on the team. Doesn't matter your background, whether you're rich, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're another ethnicity, where you come from. You're gonna earn your spot on that team.
Mhm.
And it's interesting in the beginning of the film when they talk about when they replace Coach Yost, and some of the parents are concerned. Like we don't want to move our kid to another district because they got to earn the spot on their team. We're familiar with this place. We want our kids to play here,
Mhm.
and it's not worth losing your spot if you're not going to play, or if you're going to go to another district and play your senior. I don't know how many of those kids were there playing their senior year, but I mean, it was Jerry Bertier's senior year. He was an All-American, All-American before he gets in that car accident.
Yeah.
But yeah, sports is the ultimate meritocracy, and if you got to practice hard, you got to be you got to do your best. And Coach Boone says it in his preamble. He says, "I will not cut you for trying out, but
Mhm.
you will do your best."
Yeah. And then there's a player that takes advantage of that policy. He says Boone doesn't cut anybody, remember?
Yeah.
And then Gary has to make a decision,
Yep.
which is a good one. Which the friendship between, I don't know about you, Ryan, but the friendship between Gary Bertier and Julius is a highlight of this movie for me as well. And
Mhm.
in one particular case, they are more mature than somebody like Gary's mother at first,
Yeah.
who does not come around to the idea.
No, at least not at first.
Yeah.
The second theme, all for one, one for all. Every relationship, and it comes back to that friendship between Big Jewel and Gary, excuse me. Like every friendship seems to have its initial bump in the road because you're starting to feel out the person who you're talking to, but if you let things build. Like, you have experiences together. You go do things together. Like that's what dudes do. That's what men do. Is that we're not big talkers. We do things together, and we have shared experiences. And this was a shared experience between everyone on this team, from Louis to Gary to Big Jewel to Petey to Rev. A little bit later, we see Sunshine have those mind games with Gary with Gary Bertier and the rest of the locker room.
Yes. And
Plus,
Petey as well. Petey's really thinking
and
about
Petey,
it.
yeah, Petey's like, "Come on, tell me, are you or aren't you?"
It's torturing Petey.
What do you think? What do you think, Petey? And also, men always bond together with Yo Mama jokes.
Oh yeah, that was a it's a
And,
great scene in the movie.
Louis coming up from the top rope with his joke about carrying Petey's mom on
Yeah,
her
yeah.
piggyback ride. No, that's a mama joke.
I'm telling you, that's the Ethan Suplee effect, man.
Oh man, Ethan Suplee
Yeah.
is incredible. But it's just interesting that yes, Louis is probably the most likable character in this movie because he don't care. He doesn't care like what
Mhm.
color you are. He just wants to play football. He wants to build bonds. He wants to become a better person. And you see it towards the end or the championship game. And actually, in the beginning, when Coach Boone talks to Louis, saying, "Look, like bring your test scores every week. We'll go over them. I
Yeah.
want to help you get to college." And towards the end, spoiler alert, they're in the locker room together, and Louis says, "Coach, I'm eligible." Well, Louis, I'm already taken. He's like, "No, I'm eligible for college. I've got a C+ average," and he gives him a big old hug. And as you see in the end credits, the real Louis Lastic, the real life Louis Lastic, goes to Austin Peay University, plays football there, and is a successful businessman in Nashville, which is great, which is awesome. You want to see that. You want to see people succeed, and this is all based on a true story. So that's the person you want to be like, Louis Elastic. Like that should be everyone's attitude. And speaking for myself, like, be open to experiences, be open to other people, keep yourself with an open mind, have an open mind when it comes to new people and new experiences, and you'll learn something from it, and you'll be a better person for it. And yeah, we definitely need more conversations. And it's great that we have friendships with people like Cole Johnson. Last week we had Wise El Jefe on, who's half black and half Hispanic. Playmaker, Cool McCain, Snowman. We have friendships with all those guys. And if I have a question or I have a thought, like, I feel, especially with Cole Johnson, I feel like I can come to him with a question, just get to know him a little bit more and his experiences, and he'll be open and free and open. Same with Wise. I'm pretty sure same with Playmaker and Cool and Snowman. Like, it's great that we're not the same skin color, but we all have a common goal, and that we want to be better broadcasters. We want to be better men outside of this realm, and that we can have these conversations if we need to. And I hope that everyone has the same type of conversations with others as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and that's to echo the point. That's why, to me, Bill Yost is so important in this movie, because he is the representation, in my opinion, of that kind of learning and understanding happening in real time, and he sacrifices the Hall of Fame for it. By that guy. I paused on that scene because I rented this movie on Amazon because I'm too lazy to put it in the DVD player, and I knew the DVD player wouldn't work with my sound bar. That's right. I'm in that position, America.
It's on Disney Plus.
I know, but I don't have Disney Plus right now. But
sucks to suck.
I pressed pause on Amazon.
I'm sorry, Dustin. I'm sorry.
Because man. I said the guy that was like, "You just lost yourself the Hall of Fame." He always plays like some smarmy a-hole in movies, and I couldn't remember who he was. I couldn't remember. I had to pause.
Well, let's look him up on IMDb. But yeah, so there are certain people that have this certain they have a certain, they're typecast in a certain way because they look the part or they act the part.
Yeah, they could just act the part really well. Oh man. But what a way. And obviously I'm kind of tipping my hand a little bit here because I think you and I are coming in to land this plane. But what a way to close No Ticket Required for the summer. And it's why I will miss it until next summer. I love doing this show always, especially I'm getting excited for football season. NFL season is always a magical time on the show, but No Ticket Required is something special because it allows us to do something a little different with our brains and think in a different way.
Absolutely. And the fact that we're wrapping up this series with the football movie obviously gets us both excited about the NFL football season is coming soon. And I'm sure for Desi, who is a Alabama Crimson Tide fan, roll Tide, she is excited for Alabama Crimson football coming back.
You've got a few more minutes to come up with your number 56, Desi. I know you could do it.
Oh, I'm sure she's got at least one in mind.
Julie and I might have the same 56. I don't know.
Oh, I pretty much showed my hand on who my 56 is. But anyway,
I got out of your way because sometimes you got to hook up the host. You know what I mean?
So let's talk about the final rankings for 2025's edition of No Ticket Required. And I'm going to lead off with my ranking. Remember the Titans. Great film. Has some Disney-fied moments in it. Does not make number one, though. Seabiscuit is still number one. Seabiscuit came in, they hit the ground running early. It was our second reviewed movie of the campaign. Still number one. All the way 8 weeks later, it's still number one in my mind. But remember the Titans, number 2. Followed by Mystery Alaska. Then Invictus, which is interesting that we chose 2 movies that that revolved around racial reconciliation over sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
very interesting that it's figured it out. So, Seabiscuit, Remember the Titans, Mystery Alaska, Invictus, followed by Varsity Blues, Blue Chips, The Natural. Actually, no, The Natural, Blue Chips, The Rookie, Draft Day, and then last place, No Holds Barred, brother.
Okay. I mean, we put together a list this year. And my rankings, there's going to be some key similarities for you, Ryan, for you and I, Ryan, but there's some key differences with our list as well. So from the best of my memory, and I got to write them down next year as we do them because I struggle sometimes once we get far in. But number 1, just like you, I was waiting for something to knock Seabiscuit off and nothing came close. Weeks later, I am still thinking about the quote. I am still thinking about you don't throw a life away just because it's a little dinged up. I'm still thinking of that.
Yep.
So Seabiscuit, number 1. Trey, you made up for the boys in the boat suggestion for last year.
Thanks, Trey. Good
job.
Then
you got number 2 for me is exactly where I slot Remember the Titans. Here's where our lists differ a little bit because I have Invictus at number 3. Then I have, because nostalgia is a powerful thing, and the power of Nick Nolte, Blue Chips, and Shaq. You all know my love for Shaq on this show. So Blue Chips is at number 4, barely getting edged out. Mystery Alaska. I enjoyed that film. Thank you, Ryan, for introducing it to me. Number, what am I on? Number 6? Or wait. Sorry. I think number 6, because I had Invictus at 3, Blue Chips at 4. 5 was Mystery Alaska. Number 6 for me is Varsity Blues. I believe Varsity Blues was at number 6. 7 is where I put The Rookie. I put The Natural at 8 because I know people say it's a classic, but for me, there was just too much going on. I went into those details on our review with Wise. Check it out if you disagree with me and tweet at me. As long as you're friendly, we can debate it. Number 9 for me, number 9 is Draft Day. And of course, number 10 is No Holds Barred.
So speaking of The Natural, my dad watched our review of
man.
You know what? Before we do that, let me wrap up for the last time in 2025. We'll wrap up No Ticket Required.
I agree with Nicholas in the comments, Ryan. Blue Chips got to be higher on your list. Nick Nolte's going to backpick you into oblivion.
Did you take money? Again, I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it a second time because I want to count how many GD bombs he.
He throws a bunch. He throws a bunch.
Favorite cuss. All right, so as I said, my dad left a comment because I put our review of The Natural on our YouTube channel, which is why you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel because we'll clip our reviews since we're now posting on the YouTube channel, on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel, and we're just going to clip our reviews and put them on No Credentials Required a couple days after. But here's what my dad wrote. My dad wrote, and I quote, "The Natural is the greatest baseball movie ever.
Oh man.
Hold on.
The
There's more.
passion.
There's more. The Natural is the hero's tale of New York baseball, the cast of characters. Roy Hobbs as Perseus / Mickey Mantle, which is interesting because you said he was more like Roger Maris.
Roger Maris, yeah.
Red, Yogi Berra. The Whammer, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, yeah.
Harriet Bird. The Siren. Again, this is switching between New York baseball and the Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey. Max Mercy, Walter Winchell. The Pop, Casey Stengel. Bump Bailey, Joe DiMaggio. Although you mentioned he wore number 7, so you think Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, but you know what? Your dad is right on one key point. I remember the similar Mantle injured himself because supposedly in a movie that may make future No Ticket Requires, Mantle injured himself because his foot got caught in a sprinkler because DiMaggio called him off the ball. If 61 is to be believed.
Okay. He goes on. Bump Bailey, Joe DiMaggio, Mimo Paris. He wrote Norma Jean Baker, otherwise known as Marilyn
Monroe. Yeah.
The Judge, Walter O'Malley, Iris Gavin, The Virgin Mary, Wonder Boy, Perseus's Sword. But wait, there's more.
Oh, man.
Roy's journey starts in the rural area, and as he journeys to the city, he prevails in his first tasks and is sidetracked by the Siren. After years away from the destination, he returns to the trial over the hill as an over-the-hill hero to complete his task. He started the task seeking glory. There goes Roy Hobbs, the best who ever played, and completes his task reaping contentment because he invested his life's efforts in other people's lives. Thanks, Dad.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you gotta that breakdown will it influence my ranking? I'm sorry to say it will not, but it is great. Okay. It is a great breakdown of the movie for sure.
Yeah, and we had talked about how it just it compares with Homer's Odyssey, and my dad, God bless him, broke it down perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Some comments before we go to our commercial break. Kevin Wilson, our boy of summer, saying, "Good evening, gentlemen."
Good evening, Kevin.
And they're Desi greeting Kevin, Kevin greeting Desi, and Desi just saying, Desi's easier to say. Nicholas Walser, newest credhead, saying, "You're killing me, Petey." Not sure what she's going here. She reminds me of Home Alone every time you show up. Sorry, I think about Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, Kevin. Yep.
Nicholas saying, "I'll break my foot off in your John Brown hide parts."
Yeah,
and then you will run a mile.
That's one of my favorite sayings of the movie. Yeah.
Yes. If you miss a block, you run a mile. If you drop my football. Anyway, does he saying affirming my statement from earlier, saying roll Tide roll.
Oh yeah.
Got too much got all that Bama in me. And Nicholas Wall saying blue chips got to be higher. Did you take money? All right, we're gonna do a quick ad read for one of our affiliate sponsors, and that is Royal Retros. Once again, affiliate sponsor for this program. Remember when jerseys were bold, mustaches were majestic, and shorts were criminally short? Good news, Royal Retros is here to bring that vintage magic back. Chafing not included. They got retro style football, baseball, basketball, and hockey gear that screams, "I was born in the wrong era, but I dress like a champion." Rock a jersey so old school, people will ask what time machine you stole it from. Head to royalretros.com. Use promo code CREDHEAD at checkout for 10% off your order. That's CREDHEAD, CREDHEAD, like a true fan of the show, with even better taste in throwbacks. Royal Retros, because your fandom should be loud, proud, and at least 60% polyester. And I'm going to show everyone the team that we're profiling tonight on No Credentials Required. It's our team of the week in terms of the team that we're profiling. Yes, there was a football team named the New York Yankees. Yes.
I did not know this.
And here's some fun fact. Here's what's going on. Here's a fact about the New York Yankees. The Yankees they weren't officially called the New York Yankees. They were just called the Yankees. The Yankees of the All-America Football Conference were created in 1946 when the owner of the established league's Boston Yanks was denied a move to New York City. The team drew big crowds and frequently sold out Yankee Stadium. Hall of Fame coach Ray Flaherty led the team to back-to-back championship games, but lost both to the Cleveland Browns. The team featured forgotten legend Spec Sanders, whose career only lasted 4 seasons. Sanders led the AAFC in touchdowns and rushing yards, threw for over 1,000 yards, intercepted 3 passes, and returned kicks.
Oh, man.
When the AAFC merged with the older league, that being the NFL, the Yankees players were divided between the other 2 New York teams, the Giants and the Bulldogs. And it gives notable players, including Tom Landry. Yes,
Yeah.
Tom Landry with the hat and everything. He's in the Hall of Fame. Arnie Weinmeister, Hall of Fame. Ace Parker, Hall of Fame. Bruiser Kennard, what a football name. Bruiser.
Yeah, Bruiser Kennard, that's up there.
Hall of Fame, and Spec Sanders, who did not play in the NFL. He should be in the Hall of Fame. War number 81. And actually, I'm wearing
That's nice. That's super nice.
Yeah, but it comes in, it not just comes in heather gray, also comes in white, comes in blue. It's a great shirt. But yeah, if you want to head over to Royal Retros, they're a great affiliate sponsor. Thank you, Royal Retros, for partnering with us. Again, use promo code CREDHEAD at checkout, CREDHEAD. You get 10% off your order, and you also help the show. All right. Let me get this rid of this. So, speaking of the Yankees, let's talk about the New York Yankees. Where's that intro? Where is it? Why aren't you here? Doggone it.
Well, I'm looking
StreamYard, man. There it is. Found it.
New York Yankees?
The New York Yankees!
Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, Mantle, Costanza?
All right. As we were recording Thursday's episode, talking about trade deadlines, what the New York Yankees were going to do, on Friday, they did make a trade.
Yeah.
And I feel like an idiot because I published that video on Saturday.
That's
and I
all right.
really wish I made a post edit like future Ryan here. The Yankees got Ryan McMahon from the Colorado Rockies for a couple of minor leaguers. They also made one other trade, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just take a look here. New York Yankees trade. They trade for a pitcher, but while I look that up, Dustin, what are your thoughts about this? About the acquisition of Ryan McMahon with the New York Yankees?
Well, I addressed it briefly with Kevin on Seahawks Sessions of all places, because as you know, that show is a meandering road that I enjoy very much. But I texted with you also a little bit after the trade went down, because I was asking about, what did the Yankees give up to get him and all this stuff? Because my big concern, and I understand, McMahon is a massive defensive upgrade at third base, which is what they've needed. They're moving players there that don't play third base, and to say it hasn't worked out well is an understatement. And you pointed out, as you astutely noticed, the defense, the infield defense behind Yankee pitchers this season, not so great. So they needed to upgrade there. But where my problem comes in with Ryan McMahon is his bat. Yep. Okay, his bat. He plays in Coors Field, and most Rockies players, once they leave Coors Field, their numbers dip a little bit because it's a thing. Coors Field has an impact on on your offensive numbers. But Ryan McMahon strikes out a disturbing amount. His strikeout rate is extremely high. So I was just hoping for a little bit more offensive pop. But I understand the Yankees had to make a move. I think this probably takes them out of the Eugenio Suarez sweepstakes. But we'll see. Ryan McMahon, I believe he had a home run in one of his first games, so maybe something will light a fire. But what are your thoughts on the Ryan McMahon trade?
I'm just wondering if there's going to be a meeting of the Ryans at Yankee Stadium like they had one at Coors Field earlier this year, and Ryan McMahon hits a home run in the meeting of the Ryans. I would love to for that to happen. The Yankees also made additional trades. They acquired Ahmed Rosario from the Nationals for Clayton Beater and Brown Martinez. That was the day after they traded for Ryan McMahon. And then they sent Carlos Carrasco to the Atlanta Braves for cash considerations or a player to be named later. So Carlos Carrasco, he gone, but they bring in Ahmed Rosario from the Washington Nationals. And in addition to make these trades, Luis Heel has finally been activated, who pitched so well last year, but unfortunately he's been on the injured list. He's been on 68. He's been on the 60-day DL since the beginning of the season with the it was a lateral strain. But he's getting some time to rehab that lateral strain. But on Sunday, he makes his 2025 debut and right on schedule too, because this Yankees team has been terrible over the last week. They managed to go to Toronto, and they got. It's interesting. Actually, not Toronto, but Toronto series they did relatively well. The Phillies series was god awful, because Judge was out of the lineup. He was at least in the field, and he got freaking Stanton chasing balls all over the place, and it's for other fan bases who hate the Yankees, it's amusing for them. But for me, who's a Yankees fan and still wonders what Stanton's doing on this team, it's a Benny Hill music video.
Yeah.
Get the wacky sacks every time he tries to play the field. It's like, gross.
Well, and the problem is that there's rumors that once Judge comes off the IL, he could return as a designated hitter, but that is usually what Stanton does. So if Aaron Judge plays designated hitter, Stanton might have to play the field more, and that would just be not good. So,
to your point about Ryan McMahon, he has at least one hit in every game he's been a Yankee. However, he has one strikeout for every game he's been a Yankee. So no home runs just yet. So, he has 3 RBIs, so he contributed in that way. But he also has 5 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So, mixed results so far. I mean, but he's only been here for 3 games, so I'm not entirely worried. But like you said, he's a defensive replacement more or less, and it's good that he's there. And Ahmed Rosario, he's another decent glove. Was a pincher in last night's game against Tampa Bay. He went one for one, so he got on base last night in his Yankee debut.
Well, and I believe Ahmed Rosario, if memory serves, he can play multiple positions along the infield. So I think that could help.
As can McMahon.
Yeah.
McMahon can play first, second, or third. Rosario can play shortstop, second base, and outfielder. So he can play. So hey, maybe we might see him in lieu of Stanton in right field.
Yeah.
All right, moving on from the Yankees, we're going to talk about a topic that came up this afternoon because, quite frankly, we were both struggling for content. And thankfully, Mike Tannenbaum on First Take this morning gave his list of top NFC quarterbacks. Here's his list. At number 5, Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay, almost said Lightning. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. Number 3, Jared Goff. Number 2, Jaden Daniels. And his number 1 quarterback, Jordan Love.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I found what the problem is, Ryan. Mike T only watches football during Toyota-thon. That's what it is.
That's what the problem. It's funny. I saw this list from a Los Angeles Rams content creator.
Mhm.
And I usually I always like to troll Rams fan because they're whiny and oversensitive when somebody criticizes their team. But they were, and I think part of it was the fact that Matthew Stafford was left off the list, whatever. But the fact that Jordan Love's number one,
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
there's a reason why my New York Jets decided to not bring him back after 2011. This is one of the reasons why. So, in your opinion, Dustin, in your humblest of opinion,
Yeah.
who would you take off this list? Who would you take off this list? Who would you move up the list? Who would you move down the list? Who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC currently?
Well, here's the thing. So I thought about this list as in on its face, it's not that bad of a list because the AFC has the edge in quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Let's just call it what it is. The AFC has the edge in quarterbacks. It's not so much of removing anyone from this list, but it's reshuffling this list. The amount of it now, I am not the biggest Eagles fan, okay, but the amount of hate. Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts should be, by hardware alone, he should be number one on this list.
I wholeheartedly agree.
So Jalen Hurts is number one on this list. Then number 2, I'm sticking Jaden Daniels is number 2. That's how good I think he's going to be. I really believe in Jaden Daniels. However, Goff is at number 3, could make an argument for number 2 because he's proven it for multiple seasons. People want to say all these things about Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a proven commodity right now, okay? Then we have, you take this list, Baker Mayfield. Also, I would put him above Jordan Love because guess what? He's proven it. You can call him a retread all you want, but he earned the long-term contract from the Bucs with his play, okay? Then you want to talk about possibly, as much as Dak gets hate, Dak performs better than Jordan Love does in the regular season.
Whoa!
Jordan Love comes
Holy
out.
crap.
Now, Dak is always going to choke in the postseason. Until he proves that he won't, he's always going to choke. But his regular season numbers, you stack him up against Jordan Love, he's better. He throws less interceptions than Jordan Love. Jordan Love, I have been critical of the contract from the day that they signed it. It's too much for an unproven commodity who only plays well during Toyotathon.
Welcome to the Sane from the top rope joining us. Finally coming back. Welcome to the Sane. Where you been, man? It says happy Honda Days of the Myth. Toyotathon forever. Hey, I'm a Honda man. I'm offended that you say that.
Oh, man.
All right, I'm going to flip this on. I'm going to flip this on its head.
Okay.
All right, so my number 1, obviously, it's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts was Super Bowl MVP last year. Jalen Hurts should have been in the NFL MVP conversation. I believe he was for most of the season, although Saquon kind of took a shine. But then again, he was brought in for a reason, and the reason was to take the pressure off Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
So you could argue, but again, Jalen Hurts won Super Bowl MVP, and rightfully so, because he was the man in that game. Because let's call it for what it was. Saquon Barkley was pretty much neutralized the entire game because the focus was all on him on the Chiefs defense. And that left everything wide, just everything up to Jalen Hurts, and he performed. So he's number 1. Number 2, this might get a little hot takey. Brock Purdy.
Okay.
How is he not on this list?
The Brock Lobster.
Yes. And I'm sure Snowman is probably creaming his. Nope. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But I'm pretty sure
Snowman is happy that you just did
Snowman
that.
is delighted that I said that Brock Purdy's number 2. Although he would say, he argues, oh God, he's such a homer when it comes to the Niners. He's like, well, Jalen Hurts' game is regressing. Okay. Why does he have a Super Bowl ring?
Yeah.
And why did he say that about that Super Bowl ring? That was last year. I'm focused on this year. That's where his mindset is right now. That's why he's number one. Well, I would say Brock Purdy's number two, a close number two. Number three, right behind him, though, is Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is the real deal.
Yeah, that guy, and hopefully Terry McLaurin comes to his senses and
He is at camp. He is at camp. I have heard.
Camp.
Yeah.
Okay, and I understand. Before we went on, Tom Pelissaro, I believe, was talking about Trey Hendrickson. He's reporting to Bengals camp, despite
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, that one shocks me because Kevin was talking on Seahawks sessions. He's like, Trey Hendrickson left the state. He left Ohio.
Not anymore because
man.
as of an hour ago, I'm reading a tweet from Adam Schefter. ESPN sources state Trey Hendrickson is planning to report to Bengals camp Wednesday, ending his holdout without being any closer to a new deal per sources. Reporting to camp stops the $50,000 per day fines and also serves as a good faith gesture to try to jumpstart negotiations. The NFL's final holdout is ending. Quote per Adam Schefter on Twitter. So yeah, Trey Hendrickson, that really worked.
Man.
All right, so Hurts, Purdy, Daniels. I would put Baker Mayfield at number 4. No, actually, no. I would put Jared Goff number 4.
Mm-hmm.
So leave him where I think Tannenbaum had him where he was, or I think was he number 3? If I'm trying to remember.
I think he had Goff at
Jared
3.
Goff was 3.
Yeah.
How he's up above Hurts, I don't understand.
Yeah,
he didn't reach the championship game last year.
It's the Jalen Hurts. On principle, I don't have a problem with most of his list, but it's the Jalen Hurts versus Jordan Love placement that is patently ridiculous.
So I would say Jared Goff at 4, Baker Mayfield at 5, because of what he's done in Tampa Bay. Like he just took a 1-year flyer at Tampa Bay a couple of years ago because he needed a team to sign with because nobody else was signing in because he went from the Browns to the Panthers to the Rams when Matthew Stafford got injured, finished up the season there in 2023. And then 2024 comes along, free agency. Buccaneers say, okay, we'll give you a 1-year deal. Let's see what you can do. 2 seasons into that, he's led them to 2 straight NFC North championships. And he's guided them to the playoffs and then got them to the divisional round in 2024. Or 2023 during the 2023 playoffs. So, yeah, I say Baker number 5. I'd say Jordan Love is probably around 6 or 7, because Dak Prescott. I think Dak is number 6 and Jordan Love will be number 7. That's my point of view, but
yeah,
Mike Tannenbaum is definitely wrong about some of these quarterbacks and where they are placed.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And I'll just put it on any Jordan Love fan that wants to come for me. Jordan Love got soundly outdueled by Sam Darnold last year. And the only reason that Jordan Love made that game close, you'd say, oh, well, he threw 4 second-half touchdowns. It's because he threw 3 first-half picks.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's why they had to throw it all over the yard to try to come back in that game.
Yeah, and also the money that Dak Prescott is getting is also unjustified.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You cannot perform in the postseason the way Dak has done and get that money. No way. And I agree. I on this take isn't as hot as it sounds. Chris in the comments saying, I'd take Bryce Young over Jordan Love. Just saying, if Bryce Young continues to play the way that he played to end last season, you might not be wrong about that.
I also feel it's that Bama bias showing. That's just me. He did say Jalen Hurts should be number 1.
Yes.
That's not the Bama bias. That's just, he's right.
Yeah.
He also says undisputed, all they hate against the guy, and he just keeps proving them wrong. Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, we're going to wrap things up very quickly with our favorite athletes to wear number 56 because this is episode 56 of No Credentials Required in 2025. And mine is pretty obvious. It's the greatest. It is the arguably the greatest defensive player of all time, certainly of my generation, but I would say of all time, Lawrence Taylor. He redefined that linebacker, that edge position. He was a difference maker. And when the Giants drafted him, I believe it was, I'm trying to remember, it was Ray Perkins who was the head coach of the team at the time when they drafted him in 82. And then they hire Parcells in 83, and they bring in Bill Belichick to do special teams and then defensive coordinator. And to see what they did with him, to move him around and just go after the quarterback and go after whoever has the ball, what an outstanding career he had. And you can argue, I mean, yes, he's a like Hulk Hogan, very flawed person very flawed person off the field. On the field, I'm sorry, he was drafted in 1981. My apologies. He played 12.
Okay.
But his resume alone just speaks of how great he was. And again, very flawed person off the field, even post career. But in his career, he was incredible. Let me just read the resume. Now I'm not even including stats.
All right.
10-time Pro Bowler, 8-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champ, Super Bowls 21 and 25. Was the NFL MVP in 1986 by both the Associated Press and the Pro Football Writers Association. Was in the Hall of Fame's all 1980s team. 3-time AP Defensive Player of the Year. Rookie of the Year, 1981. 3-time UPI Defensive Player of the Year. 1986 Burt Bell Award winner. 1986 Sporting News Player of the Year. And the Burt Bell Award, if I'm trying to remember correctly, Burt Bell Award is presented by the Maxwell Club to the Player of the Year, named in honor of Burt Bell, a former NFL commissioner and founder of the Maxwell Club. So the resume speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Unbelievable career, 142 career sacks in 184 games. Was just incredible. And led the league in sacks in 1986, won all his MVP awards. In my mind, the greatest defensive player ever. And
I mean, he's a game wrecker. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah. And like I said, highly flawed person off the field, but on the field was incredible. So that's my number 56.
You're forgetting about perhaps his greatest athletic feat when he wrestled Bam Bam Bigelow in 1995.
Yes, WrestleMania 12. Absolutely, you're correct there.
Yes.
All right, Dustin, your favorite number 56.
All right. So full disclosure, sometimes you got to let the captain of the ship have the 56, okay? Because I recognize that the pick should be LT.
Do I have to get it out?
But you have to get out the Homer alert button because
there it is.
Shout out to friend of the show, Drew Willingham, with a slight modification. For the sake of the content, my favorite number 56 is Cliff Averill, one-time Detroit Lion, and of course, of my beloved Seattle Seahawks as well. And incidentally enough, the team agrees with me because it is the Seattle's 50th season as a football franchise coming up here. And they released their top 50 Seahawk players, and Cliff Averill makes the list. Okay, Cliff Averill, very good player, and if his career was not cut short due to injury, I think he could have done more. He had 74 sacks in his own right. In how many games did he have here? Oh, it's not showing me the games. So obviously not on the trajectory of
140.
LT.
140 games.
All right. So, I mean, that's a pretty good percentage right there. And like I said, injuries kind of hampered him a little bit. But when he got acquired by the Seahawks boy, did he bolster their pass rush. He and Michael Bennett together were unbelievable for those good years for the Seahawks there. And I just always I liked Cliff Avril, and like I said, he makes the team's top 50 players list. They released their list of the top 50 Seahawks. If you want to hear my reaction to it more in depth, tune into past episodes of Seahawks Sessions. And then last week, shout out to Dan Cruz, we did our own top 12 Seahawk list because the fans are the 12s. We wish we still had the 12th man, but Texas A&M sued us. But anyway, Cliff Avril, he is the pick. Fond memories of him as a Seahawk, and I'm sure Julie remembers his days as a Detroit Lion. Like I said, his career was cut short by injuries. I think it was a neck injury. I'm not 100% sure, but he was forced to stop playing due to injury. And so shout out to you, Cliff Avril. My favorite 56 for the sake of the content.
Yeah, it does say, according to Wikipedia, that the Seahawks released Avril in 2018 with a failed physical designation. And he had let's see. He was inadvertent in 2017. He was inadvertently kicked in the chin against the Colts and had been experiencing numbness in his arms.
Oh,
so
okay.
it was a neck injury. You were correct, because he had suffered it in week 4 of 2017. And unfortunately, like you said, his career had to end. Wonko agreeing with me, saying LT.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wonko.
LT.
You are a gentleman and a scholar. Or a lady. I don't know. I don't make assumptions. No, I know it's a man. And of course, Desi checking in with her, educating us on her knowledge of Alabama Crimson Tide. Roll Tide! My number 56 is Tim Williams. He played from 2013 to 2016 for the Crimson Tide. He was a very situational end rusher, but he was good at it. He had a career 58 tackles, 32 for loss, and wow, that's a lot of tackles for loss, and 21 sacks. He was part of the Alabama's 2015 championship run. He was drafted by the Ravens, also played for the Seahawks. There you go.
I don't remember Mr. Williams here.
Before ending his career in the CFL with the BC Lions in 2022. Let's look him up real quick.
All right.
Pro Football Reference. Tim Williams, 2017 and 2019. He's not listed with the Seahawks. He did play for the Packers, according to Pro Football Reference. Funny enough, he wore number 56 with the Ravens from 2017 to 2019. So
yep, she did mention the Ravens there. Yeah.
Yep, and he wore number 56 with the Ravens. So yeah, it's there you go. More dropping that Crimson Tide knowledge on us. All right, we're going to be back on Saturday, but instead of our boy of summer joining us, we're going to have a special guest, and that is our friend in the show, who is part of the Levac Guys radio show here in Albany. He's also team president of the Arena Crown champion, Albany Firebirds, our friend Jeff Levac. He'll be joining us on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. We're going to talk Firebirds. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about Yankees. I'm even talking about a little bit of NFL football. We're going to bring back some hot food takes. But in the meantime, and our favorite number 57s as well. But in the meantime, please give us a follow on social media. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for No Credentials Required. Also find our other content, podcasts, and articles at bellyupsports.com. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Pandora, YouTube, and Podbean. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube, just so you know when we are showing live videos, whether we're live streaming, whether we're releasing other content, or we're just making general announcements about the show, what we're going to do next. I'll be back on Friday on the No Credentials Required YouTube channel doing Total Football Talk with our friend of the show, Drew Willingham. But we'll be back on Saturday on the OG show for the Saturday brunch with our friend in the show, Jeff Levac. Thanks for tuning in to No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. For Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. Again, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. for the Saturday brunch with our friend Jeff Levac. Until next time, have a great rest of your week. We'll see you on Saturday morning.
Good night, everybody.
Roll Tide!